Let's take a look at the fourth game from Prep Test 46. It's the Secret Committees game, and we'll just go ahead and start by setting this one up. We have 6 players, 6 committee members, F, G, H, I, M, and P, and 3 teams, teams 1, 2, and 3, or the subcommittees, each with 3 committee members. So the first thing to notice is that we've got an uneven number of players to positions. And in this game, because each subcommittee needs to have 3 subcommittee members, we're going to have some of our members going more than once. And they give us some rules to help us get a better sense for how that's going to work. In fact, the first rule tells us that one of the subcommittee members is going to be serving on all 3 teams. If we flesh that out a little bit, what we can see is that one subcommittee member will go 3 times, another one will go 2 times, and then 4 of them will go once each. Notice we've got 6 digits because we've got 6 players, and the sum of those 6 digits is equal to 9. So 3 plus 2 is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And that represents the 9 positions that are available. And what we're doing is we're distributing the positions to the players. And this will help us get a better sense for how many times each player is going to need to go. The next rule tells us that F and G cannot be assigned to the same subcommittee. So we'll just go ahead and put them in an anti-chunk here. And the final rule tells us that H and I cannot be assigned to the same subcommittee. And we can do the same thing with them and just put them in an anti-chunk here. These 2 rules actually have a pretty interesting impact on the way we can distribute our players numerically, given that somebody has to serve on all 3 subcommittees. Take a second and pause the recording and see if you can think about how this is going to interact with our numerical distributions here. Great. Hopefully you were able to figure out that F cannot serve on all 3 subcommittees, and G cannot serve on all 3 subcommittees. And if F cannot serve on all 3, nor can G, nor can H, nor can I, that really only leaves us with M or P as our options to serve on all 3 subcommittees. That represents a nice fork in the road, and we might want to explore it with a couple of frames. If we flesh it out a little bit, we can have M serving on all 3, or P serving on all 3, and that'll give us a base from which we can build hypotheticals as we move through the questions. Take a second to see if you can find any other inferences, and we'll come back and collect our thoughts in a second. One thing you may have considered is that the subcommittees really don't matter which one is which. It's just, here's a subcommittee, and here's a subcommittee. And as such, we could have put in a little bit more information, whether we know that F and G are going to be on different subcommittees and that they're going to have to go somewhere. We could have assigned, say, F to this subcommittee and G to this subcommittee. And we still have H and I left to place, plus somebody who's going to go twice. Of course, we didn't need to do this with F and G. We could have done this with H and I. And, of course, we didn't really need to do this at all. So if you decided at the beginning that there was no more inferences to be made, that's fine. If you decided that you wanted to flesh it out a little bit, that's fine as well. You can't place both F and G and H and I into these frames, but you could have split up one or the other if you'd like. For now, though, let's just go ahead and work this game with the 2 frames, with M going in each subcommittee or P going in each subcommittee, and we'll hit the questions at this point.